But it's okay. It feels like it's just an interaction, right? It's sort of
Yeah.
okay. So one of the things that I've heard you talk about, getting to know you a little bit, is this thing of a woman and when she's rejecting the moment. So what does that really mean? What does it mean when a woman is rejecting the moment?
Um, I've been saying this for years, and I really do believe this. I naturally found out that when, you know, I got in my mind whenever I approach women, and I always thought that if it didn't come so well, if the outcome didn't go so well in my approach, then I always thought it was something about me. But then, as I through my journey, when I found out that I'm really a good person, and I'm just genuine nice guy, not the nicest guy, but I'm saying like just a genuine nice guy, and a very sexual man as well. And whenever I approach women and they would still give me you would say a negative outcome, I realized that, well, these women are not the right women for me, so therefore they're just rejecting that moment. They're not rejecting me as a person, because I know myself. I know I could give a woman a good time. I know I could sexualize her the right way, the way she deserves to be, if she wants it. All these things, all these good qualities about myself, I realized that whenever I approach these women and they start to reject me, then I'm like, I don't come from an area where it's like it's your loss, but it's more like you're just rejecting the moment. You're not ready for it. You're not ready to handle me yet. But the right women that I come across in my path and throughout my journey, they're very receptive, and then therefore they're just accepting the moment. They're not rejecting the moment, and also they're accepting the invitation when I invite them out on an instant date. I don't say a date to them, but I'm inviting them out to continue this interaction, or set up an arrangement. So they're accepting the invitation and they're not rejecting that moment. So, just to make it simple for everybody out there and for you too, is that whenever you come across, whenever you have a negative outcome, or an outcome that you didn't expect, instead of beating yourself up, you realize that you're a good, genuine person, then you have to accept that she just rejected that moment.
So how can a guy who's kind of starting out and maybe going and approaching and feeling that kind of maybe beating himself up, how can he start to inhabit this perspective?
Well, he shouldn't beat himself up, because part of a journey is to learn from your mistakes and learn about yourself. That's the most important thing, to learn about your character and see how you handle yourself. And when you have to implement all these experiences, and again, there's so many experiences in your life, because the next time you see a beautiful woman, you'll be prepared, but you're not expecting the outcome. It will just come so natural for you. So for any guy out there who's a beginner and possibly beating himself up, then I would encourage him to accept all the feedback, all the real world feedback out there, because the best feedback you could get is from that woman, rather than a coach telling you. Of course, consider what a coach is telling. Like if I tell my clients, this is what she did, or this is what she's feeling, it's great. But his best experience or best lesson is to have that experience with that woman, regardless of the outcome. So he has to be willing to accept the feedback and consider everything what's in front of him, and then ask himself, like, how do I feel about this? And then the negative outcome, if she's rejecting him, I have to say that because it's very common. But I will rephrase it now, which is if she's rejecting that moment, then he could easily move on from there. And then as he continues his journey and be consistent, then he's inviting the feedback.
Yeah.
So then the next time you see another beautiful woman, he's not so concerned about what to say or how the outcome could be. He just inviting the energy, or he's giving her the energy, and then accept the feedback, the real world feedback.
So it sounds kind of like you're saying in a way that it's not about listening to her reaction and then changing himself necessarily, but it's more about just learning something about different types of scenarios with women.
Yeah. Because the thing that I notice in a lot of guys do is like they're trying to fix themselves. They're wondering how can I make her, how can I make her more engaging with the conversation. Basically, it comes from an area which I admit that I was like that a long time ago when I first started my journey. But they're focusing on these techniques and these tactics, how to keep her engaged, or how do I get her into me, how do I have her be attracted to me. And instead, like I said, like he had to take that feedback from her. And then if he's really completely honest with himself, he had to be brutally honest with himself, that he is being truthful to himself, that he speaks his truth to her, and he did his part as a man. Then he doesn't have to do anything of how to change himself. He doesn't have to find any other ways to become more magnetic, you would say.
Okay.